All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Trent Advantage School of Business live stream. We are very, very excited to welcome you to our session today. If you're domestic this evening, if you're somewhere in the world, either a good morning or a good afternoon. So welcome. My name is Nani, and I'll be moderating our session tonight. And with me tonight, I have a couple people joining me, our amazing faculty. So we have, first of all, Dr. Byron Liu, Director of the School of Business and a professor, as well as a chair within the Department of Economics here at Trent University. We also do have Dr. Ken Chen, an associate professor in the School of Business here at Trent as well. And then we also do have Bryn, who's our amazing international enrollment advisor. So with Trent International here at Trent University. And again, myself, one of the enrollment advisors here for domestic students. So we're all very excited to welcome you guys and for your path, everything that's ahead of you, and looking forward to sharing all of the reasons why Trent is the right choice for your academic future. So during the session, if you do have any questions, I do want to encourage everybody, feel free to type in all the questions that you have in the live chat. So it's located at the bottom of your screen. So any questions you have regarding business, anything regarding Trent, please feel free to put that in the chat. And then you'll have myself and my colleague Bryn. We'll try to get to as many questions as we possibly can, but we do also have a Q&A period at the end where we will have our professors asking sort of all those common questions or any other questions that you guys may have. So before we begin, I am going to give a quick overview of what this evening for some of us is going to look like. So the great welcome, but also we're going to have a session presentation from our amazing faculty, and then again, the Q&A period at the end, and then we're going to close it off. So with that, we will get started opening up the business conversation, having Dr. Liu taking the floor.
Great. Thank you very much, Nani. It's delightful for us to be here with you tonight. We're very glad you chose to join us. We would like to convince you that the School of Business at Trent University is an excellent choice, and all our alumni are very pleased they went through our program with us. I will shortly turn the mic over to Dr. Ken Chen. He's our Associate Director at Durham campus, and he'll explain our campus structure. He'll run you through some brief descriptions, some highlights of what we offer and what you can expect. Please ask questions. If for some reason we don't get to your question, we apologize, but we will answer it. Please send it to us. We'll put some contact information up at the end. We would be happy to answer your questions. We can answer it by email, or we can discuss it with you as you prefer. So don't be shy. We'd love to take all your questions. And if we don't have time now, we will take them later. So with that, let me turn it over to Dr. Chen, who will now lead us through some interesting information.
Thank you, Byron. And first of all, welcome to our business school information session. I want to first by saying that the School of Business is the largest unit at Trent. Every year, we welcome the largest number of students across our campuses. And like Trent itself, we consider ourselves just the right size, big enough to offer a comprehensive range of high quality programs and opportunities, but limbo enough and small enough to cultivate personal relationships with students and professors. So for the first 15 minutes, I would like to tell you more about who we are, what we offer, and then we want to hear from you and help answer some of your questions as you decide if Trent is the right fit for you. Now, by now, you probably have heard that Trent has been ranked as one of the best undergraduate universities in Ontario for many years. And our community is very proud of the recognitions. For example, we are recently ranked as #1 in Ontario for highest quality. We're #1 in Ontario for faculty award and #1 in Ontario for student services. We're #2 in Canada for the most innovative category, and #2 in Canada for developing leaders of tomorrow. Our graduate students went on with wonderful careers, and we're super proud of that. But I think as a business professor, we always say the numbers do not tell the full stories. And certainly, I think the numbers will not tell you how we got there and how we approach our education as the business program. So I want to tell you more about that. And let me start with a short story. Every year, we have a CEO in Residence program, and we basically invite business leaders into our schools, interact with our students. And we recently hosted Katie Tyler. Now, Katie Tyler is one of the most influential business leaders in Canada. And born and raised in Ontario, she was the chairwoman of RBC, the biggest bank in Canada. She was also the CEO of Four Seasons Hotels Internationals, and she was on the board of the Canadian Pension Plan. So we let Katie share her experience with all students, and she even had opportunity to coach some of our business students individually. And when she was asked about her view on university education, one of her key messages was that the notion of a 17-year-old high school student knowing exactly what they want to do in life, and that's just inconsistent with the reality. And what people need to do in university is to learn to work hard and smart, develop useful and transferable skills, and build relationships. Now, this kind of themes, as professors, who interact with many students and parents and graduates and business people, this kind of themes really resonate with me. And this makes sense because we have decades of research that shows success in education, in business, and in life in general rarely follows a straight line. To succeed in real life, to succeed in real life in general, we need to discover our strengths and weaknesses. We need to experiment in a safe environment and really learn from both successes and failure, and transform those experiences into skills. You need to pivot a couple of times, perhaps, before finding the right direction. And you need to build your network, relationships, contact, to access crucial resources to support your growth in general. And what we can do as university is to provide you with lots of opportunities and make the resources available to you and challenge you, work with you, to seize those right opportunities for you and to seize those resources that can enable those opportunities. And really building on this philosophy and understanding about education, business, and life in general, we really want to offer flexible and personalized education experience. And this is the reason that our business program is designed to be rigor, adaptable, and having multiple ways that students can find ways to study business. I want to highlight that there are currently 9 different ways to study business at Trent. So one can pursue a traditional B.B.A degrees with a specialization or without specializations. Students can also combine their interest in art, science, or law to earn joint majors or minors in business. So for example, some of the students are really interested in AI, computer science, or chemistry. They can combine their interest in those areas with business and graduate with a dual majors. Exciting for students who want to join the fast-growing supply chain industry, especially in the Greater Toronto areas. Durham campus has a dedicated degrees in supply chain management. 2 years ago, we have launched the very popular co-op programs in the business school. And I want to tell you that we started with 20 intakes a year. We are now at 40 intakes. Next year, we will further increase the admission intakes to 50 per year. And we have seen fabulous demand for co-op programs. And finally, in September this year, we are also going to launch a new B.B.A. and Master Management Fast Track program, where students can obtain both a B.B.A. and a master's degrees in business with guaranteed work experience within 5 years. So this is very much like the combined dual degrees of business and law, except now we have a B.B.A. and master's of management degrees. And this kind of fast track program is very, very special, and there are very few of this kind of programs in Canada right now. And when our students decide to specialize further later in their program and studies, they have the opportunity to do so in many major business functional areas, such as accounting, entrepreneurship, finance, human resources, marketing, information system, and e-commerce. We have invested very heavily over the past couple of years in expanding our specialization. So for example, students now can complete all the required courses for the CPA in accounting and CHRP in HR in human resources management, those professional designation in either campuses. For other areas such as marketing entrepreneurship, we'll continue to launch new courses such as analytics, AI innovation, and we continue to upgrade some of the existing courses. So we will not have any problems finding some interesting area for students when they get to the point where they need to decide the specializations. We also have campus-specific specializations. For example, we have very popular economics specialization at Peterborough. And as I mentioned before, the Durham and Greater Toronto areas has increased demand for talent in supply chain. Therefore, in the Durham campus, we also have the logistic and supply chain management specialization. In addition to constantly expanding our specialization, we have also worked really hard to bring more and better experiential learning opportunity to our students. While I mentioned our growing co-ops program earlier, and I want to emphasize that co-op is just one part of our comprehensive experiential learning structure. We now have field placements as well as internships in addition to co-ops. Now, field placements are really unpaid field experience and allow students to get some industry experience. For the internships, they are flexible pay opportunities, pay positions available to all students as long as students meet the GPA requirement of 72 to 75%. The co-ops are only available to direct entries from high school with a little bit higher high school GPA requirements and also with mandatory work term. But the advantages, of course, is that one can graduate with both a degree in B.B.A. and a full years of paid experience under your belt. And I think many of the students really appreciate the combination of professional experience as well as the degrees with a very manageable time frame, which is 4 years. Here are some of our current experiential learning partners, companies that we partner with to find internship placement as well as co-op some positions for our students. And as you can see, they represent a wide range of organizations. We have leading accounting firms, financial institutes, government agencies and public services, also marketing consulting firms, and even social enterprises. And here are some examples of the job position for our students. They are professional positions that boost your resume and also serve as a very useful stepstone for our students. And I think this is just the beginning. Our co-op program is right now 3 years old. I am sure that in the next couple of years, we will continue to expand and include even more exciting partners and opportunity for our students. And there are more experiential learning opportunities to come. For example, in spring, we will launch our first official business case competition with an industry partner. Right now, we call that Business Innovators Challenge. National case studies, case competition are also something that we are pursuing. For example, we are bringing 5 business students to the Canadian University Sales Competition next month. And we are planning to do more of that and continue expanding this kind of opportunities for students. Cost of education is very salient among students and families today. To this end, we are thankful that Trent can offer very competitive scholarships. The entrance scholarships are automatic and renewable as long as you maintain an average of 80% in a full course loan. If you enter with high school average of 80 to 84.9%, you are qualified for 6,000 scholarship over 4 years. And the amount goes up from there. For someone with a high school average of 95% and above, the scholarship can pass $18,000. For a business program, this is very exciting. Besides the general entrance scholarships, we currently have over 20 different scholarship and bursary opportunities each year, specifically for business students. And each year, we need to encourage and remind students to apply for all the exciting scholarship and bursaries. So I will also encourage you, if you come to Trent, make sure you have your resume ready every year and submit some application to the right scholarship and bursaries. We will want to make sure that the resources available to you, but you need to go and grab some of those resources yourself as well. And there is, this is something that many students will tell you, and something that you can feel very quickly on campus. Something that is also very unique, we believe, at Trent, and certainly something that we are very proud of. That is, we can maintain a close-knit community learning environment where you run into your professor in the hallway and you can ask questions, you can get professor's attention, you can build personal relationships, you can get the quality support when you need it, and fast. And we can help students get involved in the business community gradually over time, and prepare them for the next larger stages in life. And this is, possible because the smaller class sizes that we have, also the architects of space, which while campus tend to be a little bit more nimble, and that allowed the interaction to be a little bit more rich. And of course, that's our philosophy of education as well. We don't want to treat our students as a number, or we prefer to know our student by their first name, and this is how we want to approach education in general. Personal relationship and confidence. We offer a university experience that is truly interactive and personal, with a strong sense of community. So when you joined our business program, you're really becoming part of a high quality institution that is able and willing to put resources behind you. And we are constantly trying to find new ways to expand the opportunities for our students and make sure that they have better opportunity and more opportunity in the future. And for those of you who are interested in business and want to study business, I would tell you that's in strategies, the 2 words, opportunities and resources, are probably the most important 2 words that you ever need to run into. And I think we provide you with those at Trent. We hope that this sounds like the kind of business education that you're looking for. And hopefully you can join us, and we look forward to working together and supporting you, helping you grow and succeed. And thank you. Back to you, Byron.
Oh, great. Thanks, Ken. I've been answering some questions. I'm glad to see the interest. We can take some live. Let me add one thing, Ken. So I want to put an accent on the advantages business offers over most other programs in that we offer co-ops. Ken mentioned that, but we also offer internships and placements. These are programs that most other departments don't offer. These are like the internships are like one-term co-ops. So these are so if you don't get in as a co-op student, you don't want to, but later you think you're interested in an internship, a term off working for pay, we integrate that into our program. And that is a very popular option for us. So something that we've been very successful at doing. I think at this point, do I turn it back to you, Nani, for open questions? I see there's some more on the that have come in on the chat. I'm happy to answer, or Ken can answer.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, this would be the perfect time. So throw it in the Q&A section. That's where we can sort of get everybody's questions. So anything regarding business departments of the School of Business, if you have any questions about the programs themselves, it could be admissions questions. So if you're in high school, transferring, whatever the case may be, this is the time to take advantage of the amazing professors we have here and take time.
Noni, I think you're muted.
Do you hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
a common question that does come up for the School of Business. I know some students ask a lot of the time, how flexible is it to switch between specializations?
No, I can answer that. Easier if you know earlier, more difficult if you decide later. I mean, that's really it. Each specialization, and they vary in terms of what's required. Some have as few as I think five courses that are required to declare specialization. There is some overlap among a few, not extensive, but a bit. Some try out a specialization, and if by the end of second year you're thinking you're more geared towards another, probably very easy to switch, with the few exceptions. Accounting is one that you really can't switch into. It's the most demanding because we have to offer courses that meet the CPA admission requirements. But others like marketing and entrepreneurship, there is some flexibility.
Awesome. So I think that gave us time to see some questions coming in. So I can go ahead and just go through the questions that we have. So the first one asks, what types of math courses do students need to take?
Is that question about getting in or while within the program?
So it doesn't say specifically. So I guess we could go through both because getting in is pretty straightforward, but in the program, I think it might be helpful for some students who might be interested in what they're really signing up for.
Right. So I'm going to take the, in order to get into the program, is only one 4U math of your choice. Any 4U math will satisfy the requirement. Within the programs, Byron, I think you will have more information about that.
Yeah, we require two math-like courses within the program. One is it's like an advanced functions with a little bit of calculus, just the basics that you need. We also require you take a statistics course, which we consider math. And that's it. Those are standard core required courses for all business students, whether it's B.B.A. or joint major.
And I want to add one more thing that is very common that we received question from students as they worry about math courses. So I will answer in two ways. One is that the admission requirements are really here to protect you. If you have met the requirements, we are confident, given the enough sufficient effort, that you will do well in the program. You will be having no problem finishing the required courses, math or non-math. The second aspect is that in business, we're not really doing some complicated math. So for example, we do this statistics. Statistic is, involving numbers, but they're not really that complicated math. You need to work with Excel, but Excels are not really mathematics in the sense that it's complicated. Oftentimes, students will have the psychological barriers. The moment they see numbers, they feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's why we're here. And that's why we're here. We make sure that you're comfortable. You will become more and more comfortable with numbers, because ultimately, business in today's world involve a lot of quantitative metrics and so on and so forth. And we will prepare you for those in the future.
Yeah, to stress that we hear from employers. Give our students more data analytics. Give our students more comfort with hand. It's not so much that you're doing math; it's that you're reviewing and analyzing data, and that is a math skill of sorts. And that's kind of what we hear is what's needed in the job market. And so we try to help you gain that experience, as Ken said. I noticed there's a question on co-ops. How are co-op placements determined? So I thought maybe I'll take a quick moment to describe how that works. So we don't assign you to an employer. What we are is a matching service. Hosts, we call them hosts, employers come to us and post the information about the positions that are available. And they post that on a platform that we run. Then students are able to go in and choose those employers who they think they best fit. Then we arrange for an interview, just like in the real regular world. And then the student and the employer meet, discuss, and determine whether that fit is best. So we will present you with all the options. We will help you make your choice. We will assist you in preparing your CV. And before the interview, we will help you. We will advise you on how best to showcase your best traits for the employer. But it's you earning the job that ultimately determines where you end up. So we think this is excellent practice. And of course, we've had great success with that.
Awesome. Okay. And then looks like most of these questions have been answered. The other one, so this one sounds personal. So I can definitely answer the question that we have still. In terms of general questions, are there any other questions that you guys may have? Okay. There is a question that came up. So this could be helpful for others. So it says that would a student who only takes grade 12 data management be likely to succeed with reasonable effort in taking the functions math course at Trent in general? Or do many students get in with just grade 12 data management as a math in general?
I don't think we track which 4U math students come in with. All are helpful. Any is good. And it also kind of depends on your area of interest. So for example, if you told me I am really interested in finance, then in that case, I would suggest finance is a field that is much more mathematized. You would probably want to take functions or even calculus, but you don't have to. If your area is, say, HR, math is not unimportant there. HR does involve some data analytics, but in that case, the statistics course, something, what do they call it in high school? I've forgotten the name. That course is perfectly fine. So what will determine your success is much more about you putting forth effort than which courses you took in high school. And we have seen excellent results from students who came in saying, oh, I only have the data management course. Will I do okay? And they can do very well. Not a problem at all. Many have that experience.
Awesome. Okay. All right, we got more questions. This is great. Another question we have is how many students were accepted in the School of Business program 2024? It's a pretty broad question.
Last year, I'm not sure the exact number. It's in the range of about 250 across both campuses. The numbers are, the reason I sort of balk on this one is because we never know officially until later in the year, and then the numbers do change a bit, but it's in that range. So we're a smaller school than some, but we're not, as Professor Chen said, but we're sufficiently large that we offer the full range of courses because we have enough students that we can support all the areas, all the functional areas and all those specializations.
And just want to add to what Byron said, we are the biggest unit at Trent, and we're the biggest unit on both campuses. I think on B.B.A alone, we are around 1,500, and that's before we add postgraduate students as well as master's students. So we have a pretty good size in terms of expertise in our schools.
Okay, awesome. And then another one that we have, it says, are there classes that leave Fridays vacant? If you're a student athlete that travels on Fridays and Saturdays, how would an athlete be in the accounting program? So would it be ideal as an athlete to take the accounting program?
We cannot guarantee that every Friday would be free. And that's not because that's not in our control. So to be clear, rooms are booked centrally and it's a multi-constraint. It's a very complicated problem to make sure students don't have conflicts and room sizes are matched. Now, we do have student athletes, however, and we have student athletes in all our programs. And we often offer courses in different terms on different days. So if a particular course was available in fall term on a Friday, it's very likely that it's available in winter term on another day. So in most cases, it's not going to be a problem. Now, Durham campus, there's not quite as much selection because it's smaller. Peterborough campus, a little more flexibility. But as I answered somebody else on the chat, students aren't restricted to taking courses on only one campus. If you find that a course is only available on a day that works for you at the other campus, you're absolutely welcome to take it there. But so I don't want to mislead you. If you're a student athlete, we cannot guarantee every Friday will be free, but we offer you choice. And I know we have lots of student athletes in our program. Not when they go away. I mean, some go away for events. They simply contact their instructor, let them know I'm going to miss a class. Can you accommodate me? We're happy to accommodate that.
Hey, I think that's it for questions. Let's see. All right, doesn't look like anything else is coming in. Those were really, really good questions. And very nice to see that some people are actually considering what it could look like being a student and potentially navigating those with all the programs. Let's see. Okay, so that's more of a perfect admissions questions. Right. Do you anybody in the panel have any sort of comments that they would like to share whilst we see if anything else comes in? We do have quite a few minutes left, so want to make sure we take advantage of that.
Yeah, we encourage you to come to our open house and visit us and ask us specifically. We do another presentation at our open house with some more specific details. I mean, we can run through things like what would you expect in first year? What would your courses look like? What might your schedule be? We're happy to take you through any of that. You're welcome to do a tour of campus anytime. I'm sure you've heard that from other representatives too. There are campus tours running all the time. Not just at open house is a nice time because everybody's there and we're very welcoming. But if you come during term, you'll just see us in action, and we're happy to provide you with information, answer questions. And somebody asks about the dual law business degree, and they ask if it's hectic. And the answer is it's a very compressed program. Yes. I don't know if I'd say it's hectic per se. You're not taking extra courses. So let me be clear. The standard course load is 5 courses a term, and that's still what you take. So we're not piling on additional courses. Rather, it's the focus that makes it more intensive. You are only focusing on the core courses you need from the discipline. So a typical Trent student will take half their courses in business, but they will take half their courses outside of business. And that's actually university, a little less than half of their courses outside of business as a university degree requirement. Those in the dual law business program do not do that. They take law courses. Those are their courses they take outside the business area. So their first 2 years are core course, core course, core course, right? There's no, you don't take, I don't know what would be, you don't take a course out of secondary interest, maybe the best way to put it. Would it be difficult for a student athlete? I don't think so. You know, I often use the analogy of athletics for academics. If you want to learn a topic, you can't just read a textbook. It's like if you want to learn, I don't know, any sport, what do athletes do? They tend to practice. This is my understanding. I'm not an athlete, but that's what they do. We encourage that sort of attitude among our students. We find that student athletes are already understanding of that requirement. We find they do very well. So we're not worried.
Okay, perfect. And I know for the question regarding tuition, down payment, and when it is due, this may be helpful for a lot of you. So for domestic students, it is a $500 down payment. That is due June 15th. So that's for domestic students. And then Bryn, feel free to jump in terms of the due date, but I know for the down payment, it's 2,500, but I'm not entirely sure on the deadline for that.
I think it's the same deadline.
Okay.
Yeah, if you email us, we can give you the exact details for sure.
Exactly.
That's not a difficult question to answer. And I noticed somebody asked about the Peterborough open house, and somebody answered that already. It's March 14. I looked it up. We're looking forward to seeing you. And Durham, by the way, I'll plug that. That's March 1st.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we got through most of the questions that we wanted to answer. Again, if we didn't get to your questions, it's super helpful for us. So we will get back if you have all your information, at least with some answers. So really good questions, amazing, amazing speakers we had tonight. Awesome support from our amazing Bryn at the international office. So thank you to everybody who attended. Thank you for everybody who's helped support with the live stream as well. Again, we hope that you're going to join Trent University. So hopefully you got some insight on why Trent could be a great fit for you, why the School of Business has so many opportunities, so many options, so many pathways for you. So it is a pretty flexible department. I'm a former graduate from the business department. I love my professors and I'm so happy to be working with them as well. And I hope you guys have the opportunity to do that too. So on that note, I hope everybody has a phenomenal evening, again, or morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and that everybody is all good and safe and you all have a good night.